As a dad who is also a gamer, there's always two things that are at the forefront of my mind when trying to figure out how to spend time in my favorite hobby. And that is time and money. Time and money are the two things that I'm always juggling as a busy parent. And even if you don't have kids, as a busy adult, those are things that we're always juggling when trying to figure out how to spend time in our chosen hobby, in this case, gaming. And it can be difficult at times. Gaming can be a very expensive hobby, as we're seeing with some of the Nintendo Switch 2 updates, as far as the gaming pricing and things like that, seems to be going up across the board. And then gaming can also be time consuming, right? A lot of games, you really have to dedicate a lot of time to play to fully enjoy those games. So, as a very busy dad, I put a premium on games that I can find at a good price and that allow me to kind of jump in and jump out when I have time to play. And I think there is a largely overlooked avenue of gaming by adults that I wanted to shine some light on, and that is the Apple Arcade on iPhone or iPad or the whole Apple ecosystem. So if you're an Android user, this video is probably not for you, but if you're an Apple user, the Apple Arcade, if you're not familiar with it, is a subscription service that gets you access to a whole catalog of mobile games that you can play on your device. And the cool thing with these games is that they're curated content, right? So Apple's gone through and chosen these games. So you're getting rid of all of the shovelware that you see on the iOS App Store. Every day my kids are asking me to download a different game on their tablet that is a 95% chance this game is just a scam game. Somebody just made it quickly to just get some ad revenue, and they're going to bombard you with ads, bombard you with microtransactions. It's a pain in the neck. Even if sometimes there's an interesting game there, the games are almost unplayable because of the way people design them just to make as much money as they can. And it's a business, I get it. But it's frustrating as a gamer and a parent to try to go through the App Store and actually find quality games. Well, with the Apple Arcade, you don't have to worry about that. There's no ads. There's no microtransactions. These are just well-made, fun games for you to enjoy, and you don't have to worry about it, right? You just go through the catalog, you pick one, you know what you're going to be getting. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to like every single game in the catalog, but you know you're not getting some shovelware game that's just going to bombard you with ads and make it almost unplayable. You're going to get a quality product, whether it's to your taste or not. Now, the other really cool thing with Apple Arcade is it also has family sharing. So for one subscription, up to 6 people in your family can all use it. I'm a family of 5, me, my wife, our 3 kids. We all can use Apple Arcade on our devices at the same time for one subscription. That is really, really cool. A lot of the games also offer controller support, which is really, really nice. Looking for controller support in the general App Store is very hit or miss. And not every game on Apple Arcade has controller support, but for the most part, the ones you would expect to have controller support do have controller support. Like if it's a platforming game or any game where you're really moving around much, it's going to have controller support. Maybe some of the puzzle games and things like that don't. But for the most part, you're getting controller support in the Apple Arcade, which is great. Now, a couple of the big things I enjoy about it is there's a lot of games that offer just like a good bite-sized gaming to where I can jump in and play for 10, 15 minutes at a time and leave it and then come back later. As a busy person, that is huge. I could do it throughout my day at work when the kids are watching something on TV, just here and there when I have time I can jump in and play. And I'm not going to jump into like too many specific games on this video because I'm going to start highlighting some of my favorites. in their own dedicated videos. But there's a great selection of games here. I mean, you have games that really hit that nostalgia. If you're around my age, 35 years old, they just added Roller Coaster Tycoon to Apple Arcade. Um, I grew up loving Roller Coaster Tycoon on the PC. Now I can play it on my phone. That's really cool. They have Sonic games that take me back to when I played Sonic on the Sega Genesis. Obviously, this is a modern take on Sonic, but it's actually a really, really well done game. I've been really enjoying this game called Polytopia. Polytopia is a fantastic game. I honestly, I've been addicted to it for about 2 weeks now, playing it all throughout the day. It's a turn-based strategy game where you start out as just one little city and you slowly grow your empire out. And the best part about it is it's multiplayer, so you can play it with your friends. But because it's turn-based, you could set it to give yourself, 24 hours in between turns. So if you and your friends all are busy throughout the day, you don't have to sweat. You have a whole day to make your moves. And it's a ton of fun. Honestly, I'm going to do a whole video dedicated to it because I think it's worth it. It's been out for a while, and there is content out there for it already. But I really think this game is a fantastic mobile game that deserves more attention. I think it's also available on Steam if you're a PC gamer. But yeah, Polytopia is fantastic. They added another game recently, Katamari Damacy, I think is how you pronounce it. It's one I played again when I was, I don't know, a teenager or a preteen. It came out on PlayStation 1 or 2. I think it was PlayStation 2. And it's a completely outrageous game where you're basically a little miniature guy and you're pushing around this ball that's sticky and just picks up things as you go. And you're trying to just make the ball bigger and bigger, or depending on the level, you have certain objectives. And it's just silly fun. Really, really good game. But they also have like some fantastic platforming games. They have story-driven games. They have puzzle games. They even have, adventure-style games. Again, I'm not saying it's going to be on the level of playing, Zelda Breath of the Wild or something like that, right? But they have games that will scratch that itch in a bite-size form. And I think that is fantastic for parents. So if you haven't really dove into Apple Arcade, I recommend you take a look at it. Now, the subscription model I think is very reasonable. If you get Apple Arcade just on its own, it's $6.99 a month. But you can have it bundled in. It's called like an Apple One subscription where you get the Apple Arcade with Apple TV, with Apple Music, and some iCloud storage and some other little benefits. And it comes out to like $19.99. So if you're already using Apple TV and Apple Music, adding, the iCloud storage and the Apple Arcade, it normally comes out actually cheaper to have all of those bundled together. That's what I do. And keep in mind, this is a subscription that one price covers 6 people in your family. So if you do have kids, another fantastic thing with Apple Arcade is there are a lot of games for adults and kids, and there's multiplayer games that you can play with your kids. So I'll be highlighting some of them here shortly as well. Now, one thing I will add, I think your enjoyment of mobile gaming, at least as an adult, is greatly increased by the use of a controller. I did purchase myself a controller like this on Amazon. It expands, my phone fits right in the middle here, and it basically makes playing on my cell phone like playing on the Switch. It makes it so much more enjoyable to play games on my phone, and it was very reasonably priced. I got mine for right around $40. They have tons of different ones on Amazon if you go look. So you could pick, the one that has the features or looks that you like the best. I will link down in the description below the one I have. So if you do want to get the same one, I can say it's a really nice controller. I've had no issues with it. But there's tons of them. So take a look on there and see, which one might fit what you're looking for. But I do recommend, if you are going to jump into Apple Arcade or mobile gaming in general, having a controller is a game changer. It makes it so much more enjoyable to play pretty much any type of game for me. I think our kids love the touchscreen, but my generation, I think we just like something about having the controller, the joystick and buttons is just satisfying and makes it easier to play. So definitely stay tuned to the channel. Subscribe if you're interested in Apple Arcade and mobile games in general. I am going to be highlighting games from the Apple Arcade catalog. Plus, I will go outside of that and highlight some other iOS games that are of quality, even if they're not in the Apple Arcade catalog. But I want to really help people find games for you and for the children in your life that are quality and not just scam shovelware. So I'll be sharing those out for you guys, and hopefully that's of benefit to you. So please like the video, drop in the comments below if you've tried out Apple Arcade yet or are planning to. And as always, thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.